Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Blue Ridge Silverhound back at you. I'm going to take some time to discuss coin roll hunting. I have a two-part series. This first one here is going to preface just the general comparison between East Coast and West Coast coin roll hunting, and I'm going to show you some examples of coins that I feel help represent what you can find where you're at. I think in this case, the East Coast coin roll hunters have a lot to look for to help them make money, to help them enhance their collection, and I think you're really going to see specifically what we have going on here. And so starting it off, a lot of the examples I'm going to be illustrating for you are typical finds in penny boxes, but at the end of this video I will be talking about some certain other coins that you could find in different denominations to help you decide whether or not it's a good fit for you when you go to the bank, whether you should ask for that denomination and what have you. But starting it off, the first coin I'm going to show you is a 1972 double die obverse. These are a Philadelphia coin, so most likely you're going to find them in boxes on the East Coast. The coins are extremely collectible, and they sell very easily on the secondary market. The example that you see before you is variation 1 for the double die obverse. Of course, you see the date, you see the tremendous spread of the double die feature on the coin, which helps distinguish it over any other 1972. Now, while this is the strongest double die for the date, there are about 10-11 other variations that you could be on the lookout for, and they all range in dollar value. The double die obverse number 1 that you see before you can sell anywhere for a couple $100s to as high as several thousand, depending on grade. Of course, that's one of the things that that help move the market around, is how good does the coin look in relation to the features that it represents. And that'll be one of those big difference makers when it comes to selling these coins later on. So next you're going to see the same coin, just a different part of the coin. You're going to see Liberty and what that looks like on the double die obverse number 1. Of course, as you can tell, it's just as wild as the date. The motto, "In God We Trust," on the coin will be doubled pretty good. This thing you could see with just the naked eye. You don't even need a magnifier to even see how wild this coin is. And in some way, when you first look at it, the first one I've ever pulled, I thought I was literally I was going blind, because it's just like seeing double, which is why they call it a double die. But this is what Liberty looks like on this specific coin. So moving on from 1972, the next coin that I want to show you is this one. It's the 1984 double die obverse. This again is a Philadelphia coin, most likely found in boxes on the East Coast. So when I say East Coast, anywhere east of the Mississippi, you're going to find a lot of these Philadelphia minted coins, and the Philadelphia ones of course have no mint mark underneath the date. What makes this one especially cool is the doubled earlobe on Lincoln's ear. You could tell that there's a southern spread on that ear, and this is a widely collectible date, widely collectible double die, and examples even in circulated fashion sell anywhere from $50–$75 to as high as $300–$400. So these are coins that you can make money on. They're really in boxes. They're found all the time, and they have a tremendous secondary market, whether you sell them online or maybe at a local dealer, because these are recognized in the Red Book price guide. So if they're in the Red Book price guide, a lot of people know about them. Even the folks that really don't collect the coins, they just collect the copper or the silver content in these boxes. So moving on from the 1984 double die, we're going to come across a coin that is very easy to find, and this is the 1995 double die obverse Lincoln cent. These things have been found left and right, all up and down the East Coast. The coin is a paradigm in itself, because when it was first discovered back in the mid-90s, when this coin was released, it spread like wildfire on all the major news outlets. I remember it, you know, like it was just yesterday. So people were hunting boxes, they were going through boxes, they were going to the bank, they were asking for pennies, and people were finding these things. Now, granted, this particular date, as you can see, Liberty and the motto express very strong doubling. The coin is more affordable to find in the marketplace, and if you were to find one that's circulated, you could probably get $10 to $20 for it, but it's a lot more than what the face value of the coin is. There are lots of uncirculated examples that are still out there as well. Nobody really looks at the 1995 date as, you know, anything else more than just pocket change. So the 1995 double die in uncirculated, you know, they range anywhere from $30 to $100 depending on grade. If you were to find one that is mark free and full red, get it graded, because it could be worth a lot more than that. So those are some examples I've illustrated while I keep the 1995 double die Lincoln cent up. Some other coins that you could find on the East Coast that are especially pretty cool, going right up into the dimes, 1965, 66. There are a number of double die obverse coins in there that sell pretty well in the secondary market. In addition, there are some quarters, some early, it's 1965, which is the first year after silver had discontinued, where you saw the clad copper, nickel varieties of the coins. So 65, 66, there's some pretty significant double dies that sell for several $100s depending on grade. That can be found in quarter boxes up and down the East Coast. So I've talked about the East Coast. I've talked about some of the coins that you can find. How about the West Coast? While I have no photo references, you know, the 1992 D close AM Lincoln cent is a hot one, although extremely rare. If you were to find one, couple $1,000s. The 1969 S double die Lincoln cent, of course, is the chase piece that everybody's looking for. If you're lucky enough to find one in an XF AU condition type grade, they'll sell from $10,000